So as you can see, level 8, one of the biggest differences probably, and some people consider it a disadvantage. I'm one of the people that consider not playing on 10 a disadvantage, and the reason for that is because it's easier to set up extended ways of doing chains preemptively if you have 6 colors. And here you can see that the dark blue is not present, unlike last match where there was a dark blue color, right? And that appears on level 9 and level 10. So we're seeing strong aggro from Naglfar. Foxyman, I wasn't really paying attention to what he sent, so we're just gonna have to wait for this to finish. Okay. So aggro's about even for now. But yeah, like I was saying, the main thing about level 10 is that it enables you the ability to be able to preset your chains like 3 or 4 moves in advance, whereas having only 5 colors doesn't really let you do that. So a lot of players prefer to play on it for the speed. You know, SK Peter was talking a little bit about this too. The speed of clearing and the speed of sending gives you like an inherent advantage technically if you can survive. But you know, I don't think that players have evolved to the point yet where they can use that to the full advantage, especially level 10 versus level 8, because there's like matchups, right? Where like a level 10 versus a level 1 person will basically never be in risk of dying because a level 1 takes so long to send any sort of pressure that you just are always ready for it and you're always have them topped out. But when you play level 10 versus level 8, it's not so clear because level 8 has the same clearing speeds and the same chaining speeds, but you just get extra health where you can survive. So level 8 versus level 10 is probably like the biggest advantage in terms of competitive play to have. All right, let's see what's going on. I like that pressure from Foxy. He sent a lot of like little combos in between, so you see that you have that layered defense to the garbage there. So now it's difficult. He has to react to this, right? And he has to get a chain, and it's going to continue to be that way because of the type of pressure that Fox is putting down. Not directly at the bottom, but up there. Oh, and he gets lucky though. Well, he gets lucky with those tier 3, tier 2 yellows, but that usually doesn't happen. So you're always playing the odds, but most of the time it's not gonna work in your favor to have that little layered panels in between the garbage like that. So when you're trying to go for a kill, and you can see at the top here now, Foxyman, actually the exact reverse situation is happening to him, where now he has the layered garbage. He's gonna have to react extremely quickly. He has to find something. He's got to transition this into chain as well, which he manages to do nicely because he sees the yellows on the side. All right, let's see if we can get something here. Oh, and he's not. Okay. And he finds the yellows. You guys gonna have to excuse me 1 second. Hopefully this didn't interrupt anything. And Naglfar takes it. So a newcomer, there's been so many newcomers lately that have just been taking matches and taking sets off of these like high-level players in our community. It's crazy. There's like people who probably have been playing this game and they love this game and they just didn't even know that our community existed for so long. And they're just showing up and they're taking games off big names, dude. All right, we have Naglfar charging up a spirit bomb. We got to make that a real term, guys. That's the charging up the spirit bomb from now on. Trying to be Goku, go Super Saiyan. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we got a 9 on the left. That little bit risky, but not as risky. Oh, and here's the risk. He's not ready for this. So when you go for those, you have to make sure that you have your puzzle solving skills on lockdown for that type of situation. He was not ready at all. Oh, and Foxy gets a bad roll. He wasn't really paying attention to the purples on the left there. So when the purple came to the far right, he wasn't really noticing too much because he thought he would get his other colors. He didn't get them, which is honestly statistically unlikely on level 8 just because only 5 colors. It's pretty hard to not get the color that you want. And he just wasn't ready. He wasn't aware enough. So Naglfar going up 2-0 here. Jesus. We got an 8. Oh my god, what is happening? Okay, so we have like a super strong like early aggro. The only problem though is that Foxy burnt so many panels early that this aggro actually is not going to work out. You're going to see now he's just going to clear everything and his panels are just going to come back and it's going to be no harm done. So that would have been an extremely strong opener if he managed to chain that and can keep chaining that. But because he only was able to do the combos and Foxy burnt his panels appropriately, ooh, and Naglfar maybe having some controllers issues there. He misswapped there. So he had the solution and he knew what he had to do. He's just just a misswap, and misswaps can just cost you your life really easily in this game. It's one of the most brutal things. Where like you do one misswap for whatever reason, whether it be because your controller's messing you up or whether or not you just made a small mistake in like the force you put into it, and you just die instantly. And that's just how it is. So yeah, we saw a misswap there. But the pressure, like I was talking about, like Naglfar's like insane pressure at the beginning there. That pressure was nullified because he wasn't able to close it out in like at least a ×4 or ×5 chain. Even times like 3 would be better, but he wasn't able to do like a really strong chain to follow it. So when it came down to Foxyman, he did a good counter, which was I'm gonna burn all my panels, and since you're just sending me combo garbage anyways, I know it all breaks in one hit. I'll just break it all, and then after now it's back to reset situation, and I have lower pressure because inherently in this game making combo garbage takes longer than making chain garbage, and it consumes more resources. A bit less when you're actually chaining though, but because Naglfar wasn't chaining, that's where the problem lies. So one of the things I've noticed is, Foxyman using this buffering technique to a good degree. Naglfar doesn't really do it that much, and we're seeing it because Foxy he buffered the 5 there to give himself some extra time to figure out the clear, and Naglfar was kind of just going off of reaction there, and because he didn't have like an immediate clear for what he was looking at, he just kind of like dropped instantly. He needs to make sure that he tries to buffer those a little bit, make it so that has a clear ready just in case things don't go his way, so that he can buy himself extra time. And the best part about that is that when you do buffer something, the garbage can't fall down on you. So if you're not risking your life, you're not gonna die. Naglfar going for a trick there, risking it all on a trick. I love it. Ooh, he gets that. He gets that frame perfect. Actually, you see his health is still at 20. So he was able to get that frame perfect trick, which is important because on level 10, if you don't get that, you just die in that situation. So good that he's implementing that, even though it's not on level 10. Oh my god! And we got the wombo. We got the wombo combo. Oh, but he's not touching the top. You gotta clear that. All right. See, he could buffer those yellows there. I mean, those blues there, and he would have less risk of reaction, right? I'm talking about Naglfar's side, of course. Let's see how Foxy deals with this. Dealing it pretty well. Does he buffer? No, he's ready. And Naglfar, I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know how he died. But I'm assuming what happened is Foxy sent like medium small garbage, and he just topped him out, even though he was at mid stack, and he just wasn't ready. So again, buffering is like super important. He would probably be able to avoid both of these deaths if he was buffering. All right, let's see what he finds here. Doesn't opt to go for the upside down T. Let's see if he can make something. All right, good. Using that pillar to his advantage. One of the most important things, you saw how he dropping the pillars in any order is almost always a mistake. You always want to look at what your pillar is and try to drop down the right stuff to make it have an optimal amount of moves for you to be able to find your defensive clear in as least options as possible. At least moves as possible. Because one of the things that separates, the really top level players from like the lower level players is that the top players are always thinking about what's the most optimal way to reach the same result, right? So they're often looking for how can I drop down these panels on this tower in a very specific order that makes it so that when I'm at the bottom, instead of having to do like 5 moves to reach my clear, it only takes me 2. And that's really important when it comes to level 10, because when you're in that situation and you're in trouble, you really need, oh, and the double chin, I love that. When you're in that situation, you're gonna really need those small milliseconds that are gonna give you those small amount of extra time that allows you to survive. So right now we're seeing good pressure from Foxyman again, even though it's just a big fatso. Let's see. We're gonna need to see decent pressure from Naglfar as well. Can he find it? See, he's buffering. He keeps looking. He's looking. He still hasn't found it. He still hasn't found it. He still hasn't found it. See that? You see? Okay, so we just had ultimate example of how buffering is sick. Did you see how much shit he just burned for no reason? Seemingly no reason, but then he survived because of it? And I really think that's like the difference in this matchup right now, is the difference is that Foxy has that on board, Naglfar doesn't. So Foxy's living in all these situations that Naglfar wouldn't. And then when it comes down to it, and they're in the same situation, that's making the difference. I don't know. Sorry. My bad. I don't really know what happened there, but Foxyman won, and he won the set. So yeah, basically everything I said up until this point. The main thing there is that Naglfar's defense is lacking a couple things. The buffering technique. His offense is okay, because like the offense on Foxyman, yeah, they were putting a little bit of pressure, like maybe on the bigger side of chain, so like not focusing so much on like those chain combo techniques that you see at like super high level play. But it wasn't bad. They were both topping each other out, and topping each other out is important. So at the end of the day, it was just a small difference made a big difference in that set.